Hey everybody, welcome to a brand new IGTV episode. I want to talk about red flags and butterflies on today's episode. And let's start with a quote because I'm going to go really deep on this because I think a lot of us grew up in really chaotic environments. We grew up in environments where there was a lot of trauma and stress and feeling unsafe. And so if you grew up in that kind of environment, this is an IGTV episode that you're going to want to watch. So here's the quote. When all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same. Cindy Sherry. Let me say that a couple more times because we're going deep. When all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same. When all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same. When you grow up in an environment that is filled with lack of safety, lack of trust, chaos, dysfunction, trauma, stress, when you grow up in situations where your cortisol level at 5 was more than a lot of people experience at 40, then for you, your nervous system doesn't really know the difference between red flags and butterflies. You want to know why that whole myth about, oh, well, she always goes for the bad boys kind of thing comes from, or she always goes for the guys who aren't good for her kind of thing comes from. It comes from this whole idea of red flags or butterflies, because when you grow up in environments that are not safe inherently, that are not secure, when you have attachment issues because of original family trauma, that is your comfort zone. That is what you're used to. That is actually, I know as twisted as it sounds, that is where you feel the safest. You do not feel safe as an adult in the arms of someone who exhibits the ability to attach properly, trust, safety, you get people like that in your life and you go, wait, I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, buddy. I'm waiting for you to fail me because I know from my life experiences that people like you don't really exist, and the ones that are pretending to be like you have an agenda. So I'm going to watch you because I'm waiting for your agenda. That's why when we're feeling butterflies in relationships specifically, we need to take a step back and we need to say, okay, is this really a butterfly feeling or is this a red flag? Is what I'm feeling the excitement of something new that is good? Or is what I'm feeling the excitement of a red flag that I'm used to because that's how I grew up? I grew up being treated that way. I grew up being talked to that way. I grew up not feeling safe in the way that this new person makes me feel unsafe. Is it a red flag or is it a butterfly? And take a pause before you decide which one it is. Because again, when all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same. If you've spent a lot of your life in fight or flight, you have to retrain your brain. You have to retrain the patterns neurologically that you're used to in all relationships, and especially in romantic relationships. So here's the thing. The next time you've got somebody new in your life, the next time somebody enters your life and either they're so well adjusted and they come from such a stable, loving home that you want to run because you're like, this is the most foreign thing to me ever. Pause. And on the flip side, the moment you bring somebody into your life and you feel the excitement of their red flags, because their red flags remind you of your early childhood and their red flags contribute to you feeling quote unquote safe because toxicity is what you know, take a pause. Because at the end of the day, when all you know is fight or flight, red flags and butterflies all feel the same. Final point. I think when we've been through enough trauma, drama, and stress, it's finally time for us to say, I really didn't like that at 5, I didn't like that at 15, and I didn't like it at 22. I'm done with that. And it's up to us to recognize our own patterns and to actually choose every time a pattern seeks to reinvent itself in our lives. It's up to us to say, no, had my whole childhood like that. Don't need that. Thank you so much. To the left. So again, red flags or butterflies, make sure you know which one you're dealing with.